Hey everybody, what's up? First things first, I want to tell everybody who keeps sending me videos of Good Job Buddy talking about me, please stop. I don't care. I'm over that. I've got to worry about my wife, not him. So no disrespect on Good Job Buddy's part, but you know, I don't care what you say about me, or you can do whatever you got to. It don't matter to me. So, anyway, I'm on my way to go see Donna. And, so, she went to the surgeon today. And they're going to put a valve in her heart. And they are going to take out the calcium around her heart. They're going to try to do that, and as far as they know, it could be open heart surgery. They're not sure yet. They're going to determine that here real soon, so I'm hoping they do so that we know. So Donna's getting better, and a lot of people want to know how I'm coping with my wife being in there and what I do to get my mind off it. Well, when she first went in, she was on a ventilator, and I thought, wow, you know, because the doctor come out and said, what we're going to do, he says, is we are going to put her on a ventilator, and he said, and it don't look good. So that got me a little fucked up, you know. I was paranoid. My emotions were a roller coaster because I thought I was going to have to plan a funeral for my wife. So I tell the doctor, I asked the doctor, I said, am I going to have to call the family in? And they're like, no. He said, not yet. He said, let's try something else. So a couple days went by, and they kept doing vital signs every hour, and the doctor said, well, I got good news. He said she's only breathing 30% off the ventilators. He said she's breathing 70% on her own. And I'm like, well, I said, that's an improvement. He goes, yeah, because it was 40-60 when they put her on there. He said she was only breathing 40% and the ventilator was breathing 60%. I let people out here. This is a busy intersection. But anyway, he says, so he said, we're going to wing her up the ventilator, and he said, we're going to see what she'll do. Well, about a day, maybe two passes by, and she was totally off the ventilator, and she woke up, and she couldn't talk because the tube was in her throat yet. So they decided to pull the tube, and when they pulled the tube, she looked at me, and her first words were, wow, I'm not dead. And I'm like, no. And we had that little crying moment, both of us, you know. Me, because, you know, wow, I didn't lose my wife. And her, you know, she's always said, if I die, I want to die with you. She goes, because I want to hold your hand walking through the pearly gates up to heaven. And that got to me, and we had that moment where we cried together, you know, for that fact, and she thought about that, and I was happy I didn't lose my wife, and so be it. So now I'm going to answer your questions. First of all, how do I cope with it? It's life, you know what I mean? Life's a roller coaster. It's going to throw all kinds of shit at you, and you got to be ready. You know, happiness, sadness, death, whatever. So, you know, and me, you know, the thought about maybe losing my wife at the time when she was on the ventilator, I understand life now, you know, where I didn't before. You know, I said, well, you know, when you're growing up, you don't think of death. Well, I'm going to live forever, man, you know what I mean? And then when you get old enough to understand, you're like, holy shit. So I know now what people are going through when they lose their husband or child or parents or grandparents or somebody that's really close, to them. Now I realize, holy shit, man, life is short. So how I deal with it is I go up and see her every day. I spend as much time with her as I can because you never know. And I hate to say that, but you never know, man. You never know. So then they want to know how I keep myself busy. Well, I talk to friends on the phone, friends outside of YouTube, friends on Facebook, fans of the band. And what helps me is I got a big support system, man. My band is my support system, man. Rockenstein, as you know now, we're a 5-piece, not a 3-piece. We added a lead singer and we added another guitar player, so we're a 5-piece now. And they're all the time inviting me over for dinner and calling me on the phone, and they take care of me, and that's what brotherhood should be, because we all consider each other brothers in the band because we play music together. And another thing I do is I'm back into gaming on Steam. I play different games to keep my mind off it, to keep myself busy. I've been writing some songs, and me and Steve, the lead guitarist of Rockenstein, me and him have both wrote some rock songs, so we're in the progress of getting an original band going. It's in the works right now, and of course we haven't come up with a name yet because it's still in the works, but that's another thing we're doing. I wrote some songs and he's wrote some, and so we're gonna find musicians for that band. Hell, it might be the same musicians that are in Rockenstein. We'll just book our original shows and cover shows. I don't know. So, God, that bad gas. I just ate 2 cheeseburgers at Whataburger, and man, killing me. But anyway, it's basically how I keep myself, busy. I, just find stuff to do. I think I cleaned my house 3 times yesterday. So, well, not my house, my room. And I've got a place to go. One of my buddies, you pretty much know who he is. He is going to rent me his basement studio apartment. It's like an apartment. It's 1 bedroom. It's got a kitchen in there and stuff. So I'm going to take that up. So I'm going to move in there here in a couple weeks. And you all know who it is. I talk about him all the time. So thank you, brother. I appreciate that. So I'll be moving in there in a couple weeks, and I asked him how much rent, and he said nothing until you get back on your feet, which I appreciate that. And I do the same thing for him. So now getting back to Donna, she went and seen the surgeon. They're not sure. They're thinking they can do it through the growing in the vein, but they're not sure yet. So he wants to ask other surgeons what they think. So her next appointment is next Monday. So that'll determine if it's open heart or through the vein or what. And she'll probably have surgery probably next Tuesday or Wednesday, possibly. So we'll be back in the hospital for, I think the doctor said, up to 2 weeks. So if it's open heart, and if it's through the vein, probably about 4 or 5 days. So something else we got to dodge, but God's on our side, and we know that, and it's just a blessing. And I want to thank everybody for praying for us. You know, because prayers are fucking huge, dude. I mean, you know, we got people that care about us, and we know that, and we care about everybody too. So with that, guys, I'm going to call it good. I'm almost there to see Donna. I'm about 15 minutes away. So thanks for listening to me talk, and hopefully I answered your questions. And if you got any more questions, shoot them my way on Facebook. And the two that asked me these questions are friends, are subscribers to me on YouTube. So I said, why don't I just get on there and let everybody know? So with that, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you again soon. And until then, this is AJ. Later, peace out, and hug the ones you love, because you never know. Later, guys.